We are following some new developments over classified documents in President Biden's possession. Over the weekend, the White House announcing more documents than previously reported were found at his Delaware home. Now there are reports more searches are underway. The administration also announcing today no visitor logs exist at his private residence. This comes as House Republicans called for the release of those records. So far, a total of 6 pages of classified docs were found during a search of his private library. Opponents questioning why it took the White House 2 days to announce this latest discovery. So here with more analysis, Mychael Schnell, congressional reporter with our partners at The Hill. Mychael, thank you for joining us. You know, the White House, as you know, has promised transparency, but they haven't been exactly forthcoming with a lot of details surrounding these findings, particularly when we look at the press briefings.
That's exactly right, Nicole. And that's one of the main reasons why we're seeing Republicans go after the Biden administration so hard on this issue. As you mentioned, President Biden and the White House came in saying that they were going to be an administration of transparency. And we just haven't really seen that. Specifically, we go back in the timeline. These documents were discovered in early November. They were not disclosed to the public until last week. But even when the administration did say that a trove of documents were found in a previous search, the Biden administration did not disclose the second batch of documents that had already been known to be found. So there are a lot of questions here about that transparency, about when the administration knew about the documents, when the National Archives found out about them, and so on and so forth. And that's really giving Republicans, specifically House Republicans, a lot of ammo and a lot of enthusiasm as they're just now in their third week of having the majority of the House. They have the ability to conduct these investigations. So these lapses in the timeline and information from the Biden administration is just not helping them.
You know, Mychael, you mentioned the House Republicans. House Republicans also say, you know, there's really a double standard between how this is being handled versus the documents found at Mar-a-Lago. Do they have an argument there when they talk about that double standard?
Not exactly. And the reason why I say that is because one of the main points that House Republicans have been saying, and really Republicans in general on this double standard, is that a search warrant had not been executed at President Biden's home in Wilmington or at the White House. But there's some specific reasons for that. Of course, they're comparing it to the search warrant that was executed at Mar-a-Lago. That's because President Trump did not willfully give up those documents. And when they had been requested of him, there's been evidence, there's been reporting in multiple outlets that he rebuffed those requests. But as it's been reported and said from the White House, is that once the president's lawyers discovered these classified documents at his home in Wilmington, at his previous office at the Penn Biden Center, they had given it to the National Archives right away. And there's the administration saying that they are participating with this investigation. So one of the main rallying cries from Republicans about this double standard is that a search has not been executed at the president's residences, but that's just because he is cooperating. So if we look into if there's credence to those claims, not exactly, but nonetheless, that takes explaining that you have to really get into the nuances of both situations. So Republicans are still going ahead with saying that there is a double standard. And
we know that the eyeballs are certainly going to remain on these investigations. All right, Mychael, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.